Guys, online people, is my voice audible? Online people, is my voice audible? Yes, perfect. Good. Good evening, everyone. In the last class, we discussed about what is the list interface and what are the implementation classes available for list interface. What is the list interface? List is a child interface of the collection which is used to store group of objects where duplicate objects are allowed and insertion order will be maintained and null objects are accepted. For the list interface, there are 4 implementation classes available. One is array list class, second one is linked list, third one is vector, fourth one is stack. As list is a interface, we cannot create the object directly for the list interface. We can create the object for implementation classes of the list interface. We have seen how to work with the array list class. What is the array list? What is the array list? Array list is the implementation class of list interface. Duplicate objects are allowed. Insertion order preserved. Null values are accepted. And what is the internal data structure of the array list? The internal data structure of the array list is a growable array. What is the default capacity of the array list? 10. How many constructors available in the array list? 3 constructors available. First one is 0 param constructor. Second one is constructor with initial capacity. Third one is constructor with collection. When to go for first constructor? When you don't know the size, when you don't know how many objects you want to store in the array list, you will go for first constructor. If you know how many objects you want to store in the constructor, then you will go for array list class with the initial capacity. Already you have one collection, you want to pass that collection as a input for the array list, then you will go for third constructor. And there are several methods available in the array list class. Can you tell me what are the methods available? Add method available, add all method available, remove method, get method, contains method, clear method, is empty, retain all, index of, last index of, set method, iterator method, list iterator. What is the purpose of this add method? This is used to add the object at end of the collection. Can I insert the object in a particular position? Yes, we can insert the record at the particular position also by using add method with a given index. What is the purpose of add all method? What is the purpose of add all method? To add a collection of objects. To add collection of objects at end of the collection. At the end of the collection. What is the purpose of remove method? To remove given object. To remove given object. What is the purpose of this remove method? To remove object based on given index. It is used to remove the object based on given index. What is the purpose of this get method? To get object based on index. To get the object based on the index. What is the purpose of contains method? To check presence of the object. If the object available, it will return true, otherwise it will return false value. Contains method is used to check presence of the object. Then what is the clear method? To remove all objects from collection. To remove all objects from the collection, we will go for clear method. What is the purpose of is empty method? To check collection is empty or not. To check the collection is empty or not, we are going to call is empty method. What is the purpose of retain all method? What is the retain all? Keep only common elements. Keep only common elements and remove remaining elements. And remove remaining elements. I want to keep only set of objects which are matching in both collection. Keep them. Then remove the remaining elements. Then what is the purpose of index ask method? To check, to get first occurrence of given object. To get first occurrence of given object. What is the purpose of last index of method? To get last index of given object. For to get the last index, last occurrence of, to get the last occurrence of the given object. For example, if the object is not available, if the object is not available, then what will happen? It will return -1. Whenever we call index of, it will give the first occurrence of the object. Whenever you go for last index of, it will give the last occurrence of the object. For example, I have given the object which is not available in the collection, then it is going to return -1. What is the purpose of iterate set method? Replace the object based on the given index. Already in that particular position, one object is available. I want to replace that object with the another object. Then we will go for set method. What is this iterator method? It is used to traverse the collection in the forward direction. And if you go for list iterator, you can traverse the collection both in the forward direction as well as in the backward direction also. Fine. Yesterday we have created the object for array list class. Array list AL is equal to new array list. Array list is a class in the java.util package. Array list class is implementing list interface. In this array list class, we can add the data. What is the method to add the data? Add method. AL.add method we are using to add the object to the array list. AL.add of 10, AL.add of 10, AL.add of 20, and AL.add of 30. Similarly, AL.add of 40. We are able to add the objects to the collection. Got it? Now, how to check how many objects available in the collection? How to get the size of the collection? Can I call a method called size method? What is the purpose of size method? Size method will tell you how many objects are available in the collection. What is the size of the collection? 4 is the size of the collection. Now, I want to get the elements from the collection. I want to iterate my collection. I want to traverse my collection. I want to get the data from the collection. In order to get the data, there are several approaches available. Approach 1, we can iterate this collection by using for loop. Integer I is equal to 0, I less than AL dot size, and I plus plus, system dot out dot println AL dot get of I. Array list will internally maintain the arrays only. Array index will start from 0. So array list index also will start from 0th position. Now AL dot get of I. What is the purpose of add method and get method? Add method is used to add the object at the end of the collection. Get method is used to get the object based on the given index. AL dot get of I value starting from 0. AL dot get of 0, I value will be incremented. Get of 1, get of 2, get of 3. What is the size? 4. 4 less than 4? No. So here loop will execute 4 times starting from 0. Now this is one approach. Execute it. Am I able to get the data? Yes, by using for loop, I'm able to get the data from the array list. Let me go for second approach. System.out.println. Let me go for second approach. Here we are having a method. We are having another approach, that is approach 2. In the approach 2, we will go for each loop. Now, what type of data we are adding now? Number data we are adding. Can I store that into integer I of AL? Integer I of AL, is it accepting or not accepting? Not accepting. It is giving a compile time error. Cannot convert from element type object to int. Did I specify any type safety? Did I specify any type safety? No. Then what this value is considered as? This is considered as a object. So here also you need to consider this as a object obj. Now system.out.println of obj. Okay. Now let's execute this. Am I able to get the objects by using for loop? Am I able to get them by using for each loop? Yes, by using for loop, we are able to access, and by using for each loop also we are able to access. Now let me go for third approach. Let me go for third approach. So that is approach 3. Approach 3, AL dot iterator. What is that, guys? AL dot iterator. Iterator is a collection. Sorry, cursor. Iterator is a cursor. So in the last session, we discussed it that there are several interfaces and methods available. In the collections, we have cursors. What are the cursors? Cursors are used to iterate collections, retrieve the data from the collections. Now, here I am using al.iterator. It is returning iterator object. Iterator object. Now, while iterator dot has the next while iterator dot has next system dot out dot println iterator dot next. Here what this iterator is going to do is this collection will be converted into this iterator object. I am asking the iterator, hey iterator, do we have a next object in the collection? Yes, true. If next object is available, give me the next object. Once it is completed, again this while loop is going to execute. Has the next. Is there any object available? Yes, it is available. Then get that object also. After getting the second object, is there any next object available in the collection? Yes, it is available. Get the third object also. After printing the third object, is there any next object available? Yes, fourth object is also available. Get that object. 4 objects are completed. Is there any next object available? Not available. Has the next method will return false value, then loop will be terminated. So this is a cursor which is used to traverse our collection. This is a cursor which is used to traverse our collection. Now iterator approach. Iterator approach. What is this approach? This is for each loop. For each loop approach. What is the first approach here? First approach we are going for loop approach. First one is for loop approach. For loop approach. Second one for each loop approach. Second one for each loop approach. Third one iterator approach. Execute it. Am I able to get the data? By using for loop, I'm able to get the collection objects. By using for each loop, I'm able to get the collection objects. By using iterator also, I'm able to get the collection objects. Now let me go for approach 4. Let me go for approach 4. Approach 4. AL dot list iterator. What is available? List iterator. Iterator is one cursor. List iterator is also one cursor. Sir, why there are 2 cursors available? What is the difference between iterator and list iterator? Iterator will traverse the collection only in the forward direction, whereas list iterator can traverse that in the backward direction also. Now AL dot list iterator. I got the list iterator while list iterator dot has the next. While list iterator dot has the next. System dot out dot println list iterator dot next. List iterator dot next. Now this is approach 4. In the approach 4, I'm going for list iterator approach. Right? Iterator dot has next. List iterator dot has next. I'm able to get the data. See here, by using for loop, by using for each loop, by using iterator, by using list iterator also, we are able to get the collection data. Let me go for approach 5. Let me go for approach 5. Now AL dot for each. AL dot for each. Here I am using lambda expression system dot out dot println of I. System dot out dot println of I. For each method is also available, guys. For each loop available in the Java 1.8, they introduced a concept called for each method. In the Java 1.8 futures, we are going to understand what is this for each method, what is that lambda expression, how to access the lambda expressions. We will discuss in the 1.8 futures. After these collections, we will start 1.8. Now let's execute this program. Now, by using for each method also, am I able to traverse the collection? Yes. In how many ways we are able to get the data from the collection? 5 ways. What are those 5 ways? By using for loop, by using for each loop, by using iterator, by using list iterator, and by using for each method. By using for each method. For each method introduced in which version of Java? For each method introduced in Java 1.8 version. This for each method is available inside iterable interface. Array list class is having for each method they are overriding this method. So what is this method? For each method. Where the for each method is overridden? Array list class. Array list class is extending the properties from which interface? Extending from list interface. List extending the properties from which interface? Collection. Collection extending from which interface? Iterable. In the iterable interface we have iterator method and we have for each method. For each method is what method? Default method. In the interface can we have methods with body? We discussed about an interface, right? What is an interface? Collection of abstract methods. But from Java 1.8 we can write concrete methods also in the interface. Those methods should be default methods or static methods. In the iterable interface they added one method called for each method. That for each method internally what it is doing? For each loop only. That for each method internally executing what? It is executing for each loop only. For each loop is available, for each method is also available. For each method introduced in Java 1.8 version. For each approach. Good. I'm able to traverse my array list by using for each method. By using list iterator. When to go for list iterator? If you want to traverse forward direction as well as in the backward direction, then you can go for list iterator. If you want only in the forward direction, you can go for iterator. If you want to iterate normally by using for each loop, this is also available. If you want to get the data based on the index position, then you can go for loop. Okay, here I have added integer objects. Into values I have added. Can I make my array list as a type safe collection? Yes. How can I make it as a type safe collection? By using type safety generic. I'm specifying a generic. What is the generic I specified? Integer. My collection can take only integer values. My collection can take only integer values. Right. We are using add method and we are using get method for loop, for each loop, iterator, list iterator for each method. Perfect. Now, sir, here, if you observe the hierarchy, array list is a class. Array list is implementing list interface. List interface extending from collection. Collection extending from iterable. Iterable not extending from anything. From which version available? From Java 1.5 version onwards, it is available. In the iterable, there is a default for each method. And the default special iterator is also available. It is available from which version? 1.8 version. In the 1.8 futures, we are going to talk about special iterator. There is a special iterator is available. We'll discuss in the 1.8. Perfect. Now guys, as of now, I'm adding just integer objects. I'm adding just integer objects. Sir, instead of adding these integer objects, can I add custom objects like student object in the array list class? Can we add the student object in the array list class? Yes, let us see this. Now I have a class called student, right? I'm taking integer ID string name. Integer ID string name I'm taking. Now I will write one constructor public student int ID comma string name. Int ID comma string name. This dot ID is equal to ID. This dot name is equal to name. Clear? I have taken one class called student. In the student class, there are two properties available. These are instance variables or static variables. Instance variables. Can I initialize these variables by using constructor? Yes. Which constructor? Parameterize constructor is available. Now I want to create a array list object to store student objects. I want to create a array list object to store student objects. Now let me create array list. Generic type I am giving as a student. Array list AL is equal to new array list. New array list. What is the meaning of this? I created a collection by using array list. What objects it will accept? Only student. Why only student? Generic type safety. Now what is the method to add the object? AIL dot add. What object it is expecting? Student object. Can I create the student object by using this constructor? Yes, 1 comma some Raju. One is ID, Raju is the name. This is a parameterized constructor. I'm able to add one student object. Similarly, AL dot add of new student 2 comma some John. Okay. Similarly, AL dot add of new student of 3 comma some Smith. Now AL dot add of new student of 4 comma some Rani, something like this. I have added 4 objects. Now can I iterate this collection? Can I get the data from this collection? Can you tell me how to get the data from the collection? How many ways we have now? One way or multiple ways available? Multiple ways available. Easiest approach for each loop for us, right? Now student S colon AL. Student S colon AL. System dot out dot println of student object. I am storing 4 student objects in the array list class, and I am trying to iterate the collection by using for each loop. I'm trying to iterate by using for each loop. Perfect, guys. Now, what is the output? 1 Raju, 2 John, 3 Smith, 4 Rani. You guys are wrong. What it is printing? When I print yes, what is this yes? Yes is a variable which is belongs to student object. That means internally it is calling toString method. In the student class, do we have toString method? No. When we don't have a toString method, people are saying hash code. Guys, that is not a hash code. Whatever we are getting on the console, that is not a hash code. This is toString representation of the object. Most of the people will think incorrectly here. People will think that this is a hash code. Hash code means it is a unique number. This is a number. This is toString representation for the object, guys. This is toString representation of the object. Hash code is different. toString representation of the object is different. Okay. Now here, when I print this yes, it is calling object class toString method. That is a super class for all the classes. I don't want to execute object class toString method. I want to execute my toString method to print content of the object. Then what we need to do? We need to override the method. What is a method overriding? Writing the same method in the super class and subclass is called overriding. When we need to go for overriding? When we don't want our parent class method to execute, then we will go for method overriding. Here, whenever I am printing system.out.println of yes, it is internally calling yes dot toString. It is internally calling s dot toString. S is a variable belong to student class. In this student class, do we have toString method? No. What is the super class for the student? There is no direct super. Then what is the super? Object. In the object class, we have a toString method. That toString method is executing. Because of that, we are getting this output. This is not the hash code. Now I don't want this output. Whenever I print student, I want to print content of the student. How to print content of the student? How to print content of the student, guys? I need to go for overriding. Which method I need to override? toString method. Public string toString. Public string toString. Return ID plus name. I can override however we want. Return ID comma name. or I will say return ID colon some name, or return ID space some name. Now let's execute our program. Let's execute our program. Run this. Yes. Now we are able to get the data of the object. If I am able to store user defined objects in the array list class, I stored 4 objects. I am trying to iterate them by using for each loop, and I am printing object on the console. When I print the object, internally it will execute a toString method. I don't want to execute object class toString method. That's why I am overriding the student class. In the student class, I am overriding toString method, which is used to print content of the object. Which is used to print content of the object. Are you guys clear with this? Now, I want to print the students from first to last. It is doing that. I want to print the student in the reverse order. Last to first. Last to first. Now currently we are going in the forward direction. I want to print them in the backward direction. How can I do that? How can I do that? List iterator. Al dot list iterator. Al dot list iterator. I got it. Then next, what I need to do? What I need to do? What I need to do, guys? List iterator dot. What happened? Is there any method available? Has previous, remove, set, wait methods are there. Is there any method to print in the reverse order? Has previous, remove, set, wait, hash code, next index, previous index for each remaining. Next method is available. Has previous is available. Previous is available, remove available, set available. How I need to get the data in the reverse order? Has previous, has previous, how can I get that? I don't for loop. How can I get the data in the for loop? Reverse order. For integer I is equal to al dot size minus 1, right? Al dot size minus 1. Then I greater than or equal to 0. I greater than or equal to 0. I minus minus. Now here system dot out dot println al dot get of I. Al dot get of I. What it will do? What it will do? Is it going to print in the reverse order? 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, we are able to get the array list data from the reverse order by using for loop. I'm taking the index from size minus 1. Size is 4. 4 minus 1. I value will become 3. Al dot get of 3. I minus minus. Al dot get of 2. Al dot get of 1. Al dot get of 0. Once it is minus 1, it will come out from the loop. We are able to reverse that by using this for loop. I mean, we are able to retrieve the collection data from the backward to front side. From front to back directly for loop, or for each loop we can use it. If you want to get from last to first, then you can go for this for loop, and we are taking the condition like this. If I want to get it by using list iterator, not with for loop, list iterator is a backward direction also, right? Iterator is forward direction, list iterator forward plus backward also. How can I get the data in the backward direction by using list iterator? Has previous method. Okay, let me remove this. Al dot list iterator. Al dot list iterator. What it is going to return? Li. Can I say Li is a list iterator? Now I am going for while Li dot has previous. Li dot has previous. System dot out dot println Li dot previous. Li dot previous. See, are we going to get any output? Are we getting any output? We are not getting any output. Why? Why it is not getting any output? Simple example. Here I have taken one array list. Okay, how many objects I have stored in the array list? 0 1 2 0 1 2 3 and 4. 0 1 2 3. Okay, 4 boxes, that means 4 indexes. Okay, this is 0th index, 0th index, first index, second index, and third index. Here I stored student 1, here I stored student 2, I stored student 3, I stored student 4. S1, S2, S3, S4. I have stored the objects based on the indexes. Now I am taking list iterator. What I am taking, guys? List iterator. So this is my collection. This is my collection. In that collection, 4 objects are available. When I take the list iterator, al dot list iterator, the list iterator is pointing to first object. It is pointing to first object. Now the pointer is available at the 0th index. Pointer is available at the 0th index. Which method we are calling? Has previous. Is there any object which is before this 0th index? Not available. Condition failed. When I go for iterator, has the next. When I go for iterator, always the cursor will point at the 0th index. When I call has next, yes, next element is available, it will get that object. Next element available, get the object. But when I call has the previous, what is happening? What is happening now? Here, where is the cursor pointing? Cursor pointing at the 0th index. When the cursor is pointing at the 0th index, when I call has a previous, is there any object available before the 0th index here? It is checking the object before the 0th index. There is no object available before the 0th index. That's why has a previous method is giving false value. While it is a false, then condition not satisfied. We are not able to get the data. If I want to get the data, I need to point cursor at the last position. I need to move the cursor to the last position. Are you able to follow me? Somebody has sent the logic. While li dot has next. Right. So here, whenever we call al dot list iterator, always the cursor will point at the before the 0th index. When I call has a previous method, it is checking is there any object available previous to the current index? Not available. So if you want to get the collection from starting to ending, has next method. If you want to get the data backward direction, first your cursor should reach the end of the collection, then you can get in the backward direction. For that, what we need to do is, first we need to get while li dot has next system dot out dot println li dot next. So when I execute this, what will happen? When I execute this, what will happen? Come on, guys. When I execute this, what it will do? First, it will go from starting position to ending position. Then from ending position to starting position. Execute this. Understood? So whenever you call any cursor, always your cursor will point before the 0th index. Now on this cursor, I'm calling li dot has next. When I call li dot has next method, what it is doing? It is checking is there any next object available? Yes, available. Get that object. Then after again it will call is there any next object available? Yes, available. Get that. After that, is there any next object available? Yes, get that. Is there any next object available? Yes, available. Get that. Is there any next object available? Not available. Okay. First while loop will be terminated. After first while loop is completed, it is printing one line just to separate. One line is printed. After that, I'm calling li dot has previous. Where is my cursor now? Cursor is in the last position. Cursor reached here. Cursor reached here. When I call has previous, is there any previous object available for that? Yes, there is a previous object available for that. Yes, previous object available. Get the previous object. Is there any previous object available for that? Yes, available, get that. Is there any previous object available? Yes, get that. Is there any previous object available? Yes, get that. Then is there any previous object available? Not available. Second loop also will be terminated. Are you clear? You can go in the forward direction, you can come in the backward direction. But always you need to remember where your cursor pointing. Now, if I go for iterator also will start the cursor at the starting position. From starting, we need to move the cursor to end position. If it is a iterator, can I come in the backward direction like this? No. Iterator supports only forward direction like this. List iterator supporting forward direction as well as backward direction. Perfect. Yes. Are we able to add the student objects also? Yes, we are able to add the student objects also, and we are able to iterate them by using list iterator. Perfect, guys. Now, if you want to take this data from the keyboard, right, you need to write a scanner class here. Scanner s is equal to new scanner system.in. System.in. You need to take this. Then s dot next int. S dot next int. It will give you integer id. String name is equal to s dot next. Now, with this id, you need to pass here this name, you need to pass here. After completion of this, one object is stored. Again, you need to take id is equal to s dot next int. Name is equal to s dot next. S dot next. Now that id you need to pass here. Okay. After this, again you need to call these two. After adding every object, you need to read the data and you need to add that object to the collection. Again, take these things, you need to add like this. Got it? First, I am going to take a scanner class. From the scanner, I am reading id and name. That id and name I am passing to constructor parameter. One object will be added to collection. After adding one object to the collection, I am reading again new data. Again, I am reading the data from the keyboard. Again, I am passing that data to the new object. After adding the second object, again I am reading the data. I am adding the third object. After adding the third object, again I am reading the data. That data again I need to add to the collection. Again I need to add that to the collection. How many times you want to read, you can do it. Instead of reading this many times, can I keep inside a loop? Yes, we can keep inside a loop. First you ask how many objects you want to store, then keep that in a loop, then read the data, add the object to the collection. Got it? Yes. Sorry? No. If you want to go backward direction, you have only list iterator. List iterator only. Perfect. Good, guys. Now here we discussed about array list class. How can we store custom objects also in the array list class, and how to traverse the array list class. How to traverse the array list class which is having custom objects, and how to traverse the array list class in the forward direction, and how to traverse in the backward direction. And some points that we need to keep in the mind, guys. Array list class is not recommended for insertion. Array list class is not recommended for insertion. Why array list class is not recommended for insertion? Why it is not recommended for insertion? Shifting. We have to perform shifting operations. So it will take a lot of time to perform the shifting operations. Array list class is recommended for retrieval operations. Recommended for retrieval operations, because array list class will maintain the data based on the indexes. When I call get of 100, directly it will go to 100th index and it will get the object. Are you getting my point? Here, when I'm using array list class to store the data, for example, I'm creating one array list class and I'm storing the data in the array list class. Now, here I'm storing some data 100 and 101, and I'm storing 102, I'm storing 103. Suppose If I call AL dot add of 0 comma 50. AL dot add of 0 comma 50. What is the problem? 0 at the 0th position, it has to store the 50. 100 should go to first position. 101 should go to second position. 102 should go to third position. 103 should go to fourth position. Lot of shiftings it has to perform. When it perform the shiftings, what it is going to become? 50 will be available at the 0th. 100 will be available. 101 will be available. 102 will be available. 103 will be available. Suppose there are 1000 objects available in the array list. Then what will happen? 1000 objects should be shifted to the next positions. 1000 objects should be shifted to next position. So it is not at all recommended for insertion. It is not at all recommended for insertion. Initially, my collection is available like this. Array list will maintain the arrays internally. I have stored 4 objects in the array list. 0 to third index. 4 objects available. After that, I am calling AL dot add up 0 comma 50. So I want to insert the 50 object, 50th value at the 0th position. But in the 0th position already 100 available. When I add the 50 at the 0th position already having 100. 100 will go to first position. 101 will go to second position. 102 will go to third position. 102 will go to third position. 103 will go to fourth position. Final collection will become like this. Lot of shifting operations are required. That's why it will give poor performance when you perform insertion. For example, I want to get the data AL dot get of 3. When I call AL dot get of 3, what will happen? Directly it will go to third index position and it will get the data. Directly it will go to third index position, it will get the data. What is third index value? 1 or 2. Directly it is going to give you 1 or 2 value. So whenever I am trying to add, shiftings are required. Whenever I am trying to retrieve the data, directly it will check what index I am passing. Get of 3. Directly it will go to third index and it will give the data for me. So retrieval operations are very fast in the array list. Insertion operations are very slow in the array list. Now tell me, when we are working with the collection, in which scenario we need to prefer the array list? Retrieval operations means we need to go for array list. Insertion operations are not recommended with the array list class. Array list class is not recommended for insertions because it has to perform lot of shiftings. Array list is recommended for retrieval operations because it will retrieve based on index directly. It will retrieve based on index directly. Array list internally uses which concept? Internal data structure is what? Internal data structure is growable array. Internal data structure is growable array. It supports both homogeneous data as well as heterogeneous data. Duplicates are allowed. Supports for homogeneous data and heterogeneous data. Homogeneous data and heterogeneous data supported. It is supported. Now, next up, let's go for another class called linked list class. There is another class available in the list implementation, that is linked list class. What is this linked list? Can I call linked list implementation of list interface? Yes or no? Linked list is also implementation of list interface. Data structure, internal data structure is double linked list. Internal data structure is double linked list. So internal data structure is double linked list. Insertion order preserved. This will also maintain insertion order. Insertion order preserved. Duplicate objects are allowed. When you go for linked list. And here null objects are allowed or not? Null objects also allowed. allowed. And here it is going to support both homogeneous data and heterogeneous data. Homogeneous and heterogeneous data we can store. What is the difference between array list and linked list? Data structure. What is the difference between array list and linked list, guys? Data structure. What is the data structure for the array list? Array list will maintain array in the background. Array list will use groupable array concept to store the data. Groupable array concept to store the data, whereas linked list will maintain double linked list as a data structure. Now, let me go to one program. Here I'm removing this. So I'm creating one object for linked list. Integer LL is equal to new linked list. Linked list LL is equal to new linked list. I'm taking one linked list object. Is there any capacity for the linked list? Is there any default capacity for the linked list, guys? Is there any default capacity available for the linked list? No. So array list will have a default capacity, but linked list will not have any default capacity. Why? Because the data structure is, for the linked list, the data structure is double linked list. What is the double linked list? You know, array is used to store group of values based on the indexes. Array list data structure is a groupable array. We understood that. It will maintain the data in the index position. We can add the data based on the index position. We can retrieve the data based on the index position. But when it comes to the linked list, index position will be available or will not be available? Index position will not be available, right? What is a double linked list? Your object will have previous link and next link. What is double linked list? Let us see here. Let us see double linked list. Double linked list data structure. So this is called as double linked list. This is called as doubly linked list. Head element will be available. In that linked list, I'm storing one object like this. In that linked list, I'm going to store one object like this. Object is stored. When I store the next object will have a link with the previous object. Next object will have a link with the previous object. Now, if I store in this program, I'm going to store ll.100. LL dot add of 10. I stored the 10 value. Then I stored LL dot add of 20. Then I stored LL dot add of 30. And I'm storing LL dot add of 40. Okay. System dot out dot println of linked list. System dot out dot println of linked list. Now execute this program. I'm able to get the data. But how it is maintaining these values in the background? In the background, first it is going to create one head. First it is going to create one head. Here first element will be available. First it is going to store 10 value. My 10 value will be available here. My 10 value will be available here. When I store the 20, this one value is called as one node. One value is called as one node. Now, when I store the second object in the linked list, it is going to create one more node. It is going to create the one more node. In that node, it is going to store the value 20. When it stores the 20, it will have a reference. Hey, 10, your next value is 20. It is available here. Hey, 20, your previous value is available here. Like that, it will maintain the link between the nodes. That is a double linked list data structure. Array list data structure is a groupable array. Linked list data structure is a double linked list. Now, first I have stored the 10. 10 is stored. This is a head element. Here it is going to start. It is a head. Head element is having a link with the first element. Head element is having a link with the first element. Then it is, I'm storing in the second value. When I store the second value having a link with the previous value, and it will have a link with the next value. When I'm storing 30, here, 30 will be stored as another node. 30 will be stored as another node. When I'm storing the node, I'm giving 3 boxes. In one box, value will be available. In first box, previous index reference will be available. In the after the value, next index reference will be available. Now here 20, your next value is available here. Here 30, your previous value available here. Like that, it is going to maintain the link between the nodes. Double link will be available. That means previous element link will be available. Next element link also will be available. That's why it is called as a double linked list concept. What is the data structure of the linked list? The linked list data structure is a double linked list. Now here I stored 40 also. This is called one node. This is called one node. This is called one node. This is called as one node. This is called as one node. Total how many nodes available? There are 4 nodes available in my linked list. Why I am writing 3 boxes in the node? Why I am writing 3 boxes in the node? One box will represent the reference of the next index. Another here, it will reference the previous. For 40, is there any next index available? Now it is empty. It is empty because after 40, there is no data available. After 40, there is no data available. So like this, linked list class will internally maintain double linked list concept. Why it is called as a double linked list? It is having the reference for previous element. It is having the reference for next element. Having the reference for previous element, reference for the next element. Okay. I'm printing the linked list. Now system.out.println linked list dot get of index. Index 0. Why this index is coming here? Actually, this linked list class is extending the properties from the collection interface. Some methods are coming from the collection interface. I'm calling get of 0. When I call get of 0, what it is giving me? It is giving me first node data. What it is giving me? First node data it is giving me. Now, for example, if I am going to call ll dot add of 1 comma 15. What will happen now? System.out.println of linked list. Okay, here, what is the output here? 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 In the first position, what will be printed? First position, what will be printed? 10, 20, 30, 40. When it comes to here, what will be printed? 10, 15, 20, 30, 40. Why 15 coming in the first position? I am calling ll.add of 1, 15. See the output? See the output? Yes, it is working or not. Now, sir, in the array list also we have done the same thing now. In the linked list also we are doing the same thing now. Then what is the difference? The difference is in the array list class it is going to perform the switching. But in the linked list class, when I tell to this linked list to store my data, what it will do is this node available at the 0th index. This node available at the first index. This node available at the second index. This node available at the third index. Now, here I am telling ll.add up 1, 15. Then what it will do? It will create one more node. It will create one more node to store the data. What it is doing in this node? It is storing 15. Where it has to store? In the first position. Then what the linked list is doing is, it is not going to perform the shifting operation. It will recreate the link. It will just to remove the old link. It will create the new link. Now it is going to delete the link from here. Boss, it is going to delete the link from here. Hey 10, your next index value available here. Hey 10, your next index value available here. hey 15, your next index value available here. Like that, it is going to recreate the link when you go for double linked list, array list linked list concept. If I go for array list concept, what it will do? It has to perform shifting operation. When you go for array list class, it has to shift the existing data. When you go for linked list class, shifting is happening or links are recreating. Links are recreating. Which one is fast? Shifting is fast or recreating the link is fast? Recreating the linking is fast. Whenever your requirement is frequently insertion operation, then linked list is recommended. Why? Because whenever you insert the data in the middle of the linked list also, just it is going to shift the links, not the new objects. I mean, it is not going to perform shift operations. Are you guys clear with my point? So every node will maintain the reference for the previous node, the reference for the next node. That is called as double linked list concept. Our linked list class internally using that double linked list as a data structure. Now, what is the difference between array list and linked list? Array list will internally maintain array concept. Array means easy for reading the data, difficult to insert the data. If I want to insert the data in the middle of the array list, it has to shift the existing objects. When I insert the data in the middle of the linked list, it will just to recreate the link. Okay, but here there is a problem. Now I'm going to get LL dot get off 2 or LL dot get off 3. LL dot get off 3 here, link is coming here as 1, here it is becoming as 2, here it is becoming as 3, or it is becoming as 4, something like this. Okay. It changes like this. Got it? When I call LL dot get off 3, then what will happen? 30, fine. But how? No. The problem with the linked list class is when I access LL dot get off 3, linked list don't know indexes. Data double linked list don't know data indexes. Now, whenever we try to access the data from the linked list now, always we will ask the head element. Hey, head element, where is your next element? Hey, head element, where is your next element? Head element will tell the index of the next element. It will go to the next element. It will check that, hey, are you third index value? No, boss, I have a next element. It will give the index of the next element. It will go to here. It will check that, is this the third index, third node value? No. It will ask, where is your next index? Where is your next node? Boss, my next index reference available here. Take here, go here. Is it the third index value? No. Take the index of the next node. Then go to next node, then get the data. That means in order to get the value of the particular node, we are coming from here, we are going here, we are going here, we are going here, we are getting the data. What is the problem? What is the problem? If you want to retrieve some data from the linked list, always you need to come from the starting position. But if you go for array list, directly based on the index, we can retrieve the data. Array list will maintain the data based on the indexes. Linked list will maintain the data based on the double linked list. If I want to get the last object of the linked list, first it will go to head node, from head node to first node to second node to third node to fourth node to fifth node, and so on. How much? I have 1 lakh objects. I want the last object. It will go to the head node. Head node will tell the reference of the first node. First node will tell the reference of the second node. Second node will tell the reference of the third node. Third node will tell the reference of the fourth node, and so on. 1 lakh. When you will reach there? By tomorrow. Yes or no? So here, for retrieval operations, linked list is not recommended. For For insertion operations, array list is not recommended. So collections framework. In the collections framework, set of ready-made classes and interfaces are available. Every collection class will maintain its own data structure. Every collection will maintain its own data structure. It is our responsibility to understand what is our requirement, which collection will fit for our requirement in the project. That collection we have to use. Without knowing the internal data structure, if you use any collection, then your project performance will go down. Suppose you don't know how linked list will work internally. You are trying to retrieve the data from the linked list always. Then what will happen? Always it will go from first to next, next to then next, then next, then next. You don't know how array list is working internally. You are inserting the data in the array list object frequently. Every time whenever you insert the object, it has to create the new array. It has to perform the shift operations. So if you don't have the knowledge on collections internals, you will degrade the performance of the project. So that is the reason in the interview, they will ask so many questions on the collections. What is array list? How it will work internally? When to go for array list? What is the linked list? How it will work internally? Okay. What is the data structure of the linked list? What is the data structure of the array list? In which scenario we need to go for array list? In which scenario we need to go for linked list? Can you tell me a use case in the project where you have used linked list, where you have used array list in the project? Like that, n number of questions they will ask in the collections framework. There are so many classes available, so many methods available, but how they are working internally, that we need to understand. Okay, now when we are working with this linked list concept, there are some ready-made methods are available. System.out.println ll get value, get last value. What is the method available? Get last. What is the meaning of get last? Getting the last index, getting the last element. How it is going to identify the last? It will maintain a node. It is going to get the last node for that. Every object that you are storing will be maintained as a node. Every node will have the reference of the previous node as well as the next node. Insertion easy because just it has to delete the old link, it has to create the new link. But retrieval, always it has to start from first to last. It will give worst performance when you perform retrieval. It will give best performance when you perform insertion. Now tell me, what is the difference between array list class and linked list class? What is the difference between array list class and linked list class? Array list class internally will use growable array. It is best performance when you perform retrieval because it will maintain the indexes. What is the internal data structure of the linked list? Linked list will is using a double linked list concept. Double linked list concept. What is the meaning of double linked list? What is the meaning of double linked list? Every object will be considered as one node. In the linked list concept, every object will be considered as one node. Every node will maintain the reference of the previous node and next node. Got my point? Yes. Good. Next one, there is one class available, vector. What is this vector? Implementation class of, it is implementation class of list interface. Implementation class of list interface. Now let me create the object vector v is equal to new vector v dot add of 100, v dot add of 200 and v dot add of 300. Now what is the type safety? I'm specifying integer. I'm specifying integer. I'm storing the data. Let me print the data. System.out.println of v. System.out.println of v. Now execute this. Are we able to store it? Sir, then what is the data structure? What is the data structure of the vector? See here, list random access. Now here capacity increment is available, vector class is available. This dot 10 is the default capacity. And one more important thing here, vector class is available from which version? Vector class is available from 1.0. This class is a legacy class. Vector class is called as a legacy class. What is the internal data structure? What is the internal data structure? Growable array. The internal data structure is a growable array. Array list and vector both are almost same. Array list and vector both are almost same. The only difference is vector class is thread safe. Array list class is not thread safe. What is the meaning of thread safe? Synchronized. See here, when I call is empty method is what? Synchronized method. Now here if I go for contains method, boolean is available, index of int method is available, index of synchronized method is available, last index of synchronized method is available, last index of synchronized method is available, element at synchronized method available, first element synchronized method available, last element synchronized method is available. All the methods are synchronized methods when you go for vector. All the methods are synchronized methods when you go for vector. A vector implementation class of list interface. Okay, here internal data structure is what? Internal data structure is growable array. Internal data structure is growable array. Is it going to accept the duplicate objects? Yes, duplicates are allowed. Insertion order preserved. It is going to maintain insertion order. Null values are accepted or null values are not accepted. V dot add of null. V dot add of null. Let's execute it. Accepting or not accepting? Accepting. Null values are accepted. Insertion order preserved. What is the difference? This is synchronized class. This is synchronized. When you are working with multi-threading environment, to represent a group of objects with list category, then you need to go for vector. Vector is called as a legacy class. Vector is called as legacy class. Vector is called as a legacy class. Sir, why it is a legacy class? It is available from JDK version 1.0. When you go for array list class, array list available from which version of Java? 1.5. Array list available from which version? 1.2. Collections framework introduced in the 1.2. Initially they have only arrays. Sun Microsystem thought that to represent a group of values, arrays are sufficient. Okay, but in the 1.0 they provided a class called vector. They provided a class called vector. Vector class is available from 1.0. That's why vector class is called as a legacy class. Okay, to iterate the data from the legacy classes, there is a legacy cursor that is called enumeration. How many cursors are available, guys? 3 cursors are available. What are those 3 cursors? Iterator, list iterator, and enumeration. V dot enumeration. V dot enumeration is available. V dot elements. What it is giving? Enumeration. While elements dot has more elements. Elements dot has more elements. System dot out dot println elements dot next element. Okay, vector is a legacy class available from 1.0. Enumeration is also a legacy cursor. Now, anybody using those legacy classes now? No. We are having latest array list, linked list classes available. Vector class is very less used class in the collection. Why? Because it is a it is providing the methods as synchronized methods. What is the problem with the synchronized methods? What is the problem with the synchronized methods? Only one thread can access at a time. When you go for Synchronized methods only one thread can access at a time. If you really have a requirement of thread safety, then only go for vector. By default, array list class, linked list classes are not synchronized. They are not thread safe. Multiple threads can access array list, linked list at a time. But when it comes to vector, vector methods are synchronized methods. Only one thread can access at a time. How to iterate the data from the vector? By using enumeration. What is a enumeration? It is a legacy cursor. From which version enumeration available? 1.0. What are the methods available in the enumeration? Has more elements, next element. Okay, whenever you go for the vector, it will keep the cursor in the starting position. Enumeration will keep the cursor in the starting position. Do we have has more elements? Yes. Do we have has more elements? Do we have has more, has more, has more? If it is available, get the next element. Okay, when I go for array list class, can I use enumeration? Array list AL is equal to new array list. Array list AL is equal to new array list. AL dot elements. Can I use enumeration with the array list class, or I cannot use enumeration with the array list class? We cannot use. Enumeration will support for only legacy collections. What is a legacy collection here? Vector. What about the array list and linked list? They are available from 1.2. Enumeration available in 1.0. Are you clear, guys? Good. You need to keep that point. Vector is called as legacy class. To traverse vector, we can use enumeration as a cursor. Enumeration is also called as legacy cursor. Why it is called a legacy? Available from JDK 1.0 version. So this is the example of this vector with enumeration. Can I use the enumeration with the array list and linked list, guys? When I use enumeration with array list and linked list, no, we cannot use. Fine. With this we understood three classes of list interface. What are the three classes of the list interface? What are those? Array list, linked list, vector, stack. Let us go for stack. Stack is a data structure. Stack S is equal to new stack. Guys, what is the internal data structure of the stack? What it is doing now? Stack class is extending from the vector. Can we call it as a legacy? What is the data structure of the stack? LIFO, last in, first out. Whoever comes last, they will go first. Whoever comes last, they will go first. That means it is like a tower. Ladies, hand bangles will be available. Whatever the bangle you insert last, that will come first. That is called LIFO, last in, first out. Good. Now let us go for stack. Stack S is equal to new stack. Here in the stack class, the methods are different, guys. What is that? Push. We are going to push it. S dot push off 10, S dot push off 20, S dot push off 30. System dot out dot println of yes. Now 10, 20, 30 is available. First I inserted 10, then I inserted 20, then I inserted 30. It is like a tower. What is the data structure of the stack? LIFO, not FIFO. LIFO, FIFO, both are different, guys. Q will follow FIFO, first in, first out. Stack will follow LIFO, last in, first out. Now here system dot out dot println S dot peak. I'm calling a method called S dot peak. What is the output? First, topmost element. Peak method will give the top element. Peak method will give the top element, last element. So when I call the peak, it is giving the top element of the stack. What is the top element of the stack? 30. Now similarly, system.out.println s dot pop is available. S dot pop is available. What is this pop method doing? What is the pop method is doing? It is removing the topmost element from the collection. It is going to remove the topmost element and it is going to return that element. Okay. What is the difference between push, peek, pop? Here it is remove top element and return that. Remove top element and return that. System dot out dot println. System dot out dot println of yes. Okay. Why only 10, 20? Why we are getting first time when I print stack 10, 20, 30, but the last we are getting only 10, 20. Why? In between I have called pop method. What is the pop method is doing? Removing the topmost element. Okay, let's talk about stack. Stack is a predefined class. Can I call it as a implementation class of list interface? Implementation class of list interface extending from vector. Extending from whom? Extending from vector class. Data structure. What is the data structure of stack? Data structure of stack is LIFO. That means last in, first out. Last in, first out. Push. What is that? To insert object. To insert object. Peek. What is the purpose of peek? To get last element. To get last element. What is the purpose of pop? To remove last element. To remove the last element, we are going to use pop method. Like good. So with this we understood. With this we understood array list class. With this we understood what is array list class. What is array list class? And we understood what is linked list class. We understood what is a vector and we understood what is a stack. Okay. Now, what is the major difference between these four? All are maintaining. Now, stack will maintain the insertion order. Yes. Vector will maintain the insertion order. Linked list will maintain the insertion order. Array list will maintain the insertion order. So all will allow duplicate values. Yes. Null values are accepted. Yes. Homogeneous and heterogeneous. Yes. Then what is the major difference? Data structure. What is the major difference? Data structure. What is the data structure of the array list? It is a growable array. Growable array. What is the data structure of the linked list? It is double linked list. Double linked list. What is the data structure of the vector? Growable array and thread safe. Growable array and thread safe. What is the data structure of the stack? LIFO. That means last in, first out. Now, if you want to represent group of objects where duplicates are allowed, you have four classes: array list class, linked list class, vector, stack. Now, based on your requirement, you need to choose one of the class to insert the data. Blindly, we should not go for a collection. You need to understand what is the internal data structure, which one will give the best performance for our scenario. That one we have to choose to store our objects in the project. If your operation is frequently retrieval, go for array list. If your operation is frequently insertion, go for linked list. If your operation is requiring a thread safety, go for vector. If your operation is last in, first out, then go for stack. That is list interface. List is extending the properties from the collection. And we have seen three cursors. One cursor is called as iterator. Second cursor is called as list iterator. Third cursor is called as enumeration. Now here iterator, it supports forward direction. Supports forward direction. List iterator, forward and backward direction. Forward and backward direction. Then what is enumeration? Enumeration only forward direction and supports for only legacy collection classes. Can I use the enumeration for array list and linked list? No. Enumeration can be used with only vector. Vector is also a legacy class. Enumeration is also a legacy class. Are you clear? Perfect. It is extending from the properties from vector. So s dot elements. Yes, it is applicable. Enumeration can be used for the stack and vector because vector and stack both are legacy classes which are available from Java 1.0. When the collections framework introduced in the Java 1.2 version. Before the collections framework, vector and stack already available. Good. Perfect. Any questions, anybody? Any questions, anyone? Before 0th. Cursor always will point before 0th element. Whenever you go for cursor, guys, iterator or list iterator or enumeration, cursor always will point before 0th index. Collection is a data structure. Collection framework having several classes, every class having its own data structure. Notes already I have shared in the WhatsApp group. Okay, people from online, I have already shared the notes in the WhatsApp group, or else if you are not there in the WhatsApp, then please join at least in our Telegram so that you will get that notes. And guys, tomorrow for Core Java, there is a workshop available tomorrow. Core Java interview questions, 200 plus interview questions workshop available. Faculty will explain you question as well as answer. You people need to attend the workshop in the online tomorrow. Tomorrow morning 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Saturday will be available. Sunday also workshop will be available. All Core Java related interview questions they will discuss in the class. Okay guys, you people need to attend that workshop. Huh? फैकल्टी क्लास पे पता चलेगा आपको. Okay guys, yes, perfect. I'm giving the Telegram group link to access the class notes. 1 minute. Go to Telegram app. You can search with Ashok IT channel. Ashok IT official is our channel name, so that you can join in that channel. There I will upload the collections notes, guys. You can access from there. People watching from YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. You join in the Telegram group, you will get the class notes. Okay, thank you guys.